all signs look like Nick Sirianni, or should I say Nick Kotite, could be back, and I don't know if I understand it at all. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So the Eagles look like they're going to retain Nick Sirianni. That's what it sounds like. And I got to tell you, I don't know that I fully can understand it. It really seems to me that the fan base and the coaches, players, and front office are on two separate pages. Because when you hear some of the players talk at the exit interview, sticking up for Nick Sirianni, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. How can you stick up for a guy that has entire team quit on him? I don't get it at all. Now, we're going to get into all of it in a second. Few things I got to say. People keep asking me, will I be streaming any more football games this year? Of course, we're in the playoffs. I'll be streaming this weekend. I'll let you guys know my schedule when I have it. And then I'm sorry I didn't get anything out yesterday. Everything that I had done earlier that day got kind of thrown into meaningless video by what came out later in the day with the exit interviews, and then Jalen Hurts was really late on his exit interview, so didn't get a chance to put it out. It just was basically dead on arrival if I would have. But today we got a lot to talk about. Okay, first thing, let me say this: it looks like the Jason Kelce retire stuff is a bit premature. It looks like he's still thinking it over and that he may actually not retire. Now, he may still retire, but he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's doing the smart thing. To make a decision right now, right after a season so emotional, I think he's still going to play in a Pro Bowl game or be at a Pro Bowl. He needs time. My hope is that Jason Kelce comes back. I hope he does not want to go out like he did last year. I hope he wants to come back at least for one more year. But we'll see. But what I find really interesting was just listening to some of these guys yesterday at the exit interview, and their little press conference. Like Fletcher Cox, I mean, he literally acted like he didn't hear ever. It didn't even cross his mind that Nick Sirianni's job could be on the line, and he got visibly upset about it. Here's what Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce said about Nick Sirianni.
You have confidence in if you do come back, that confidence in him if he's also the head coach.
Like any news about what about Nick?
Nick, I mean, there's obviously some speculation about whether he may be fired or not. Yeah.
Come on, man. No, man, he's head football coach of this team, man. Come on, man. There ain't even no discussion about that.
Okay, you don't think it's going to happen?
I don't got nothing to say about that, man. You're a clown, bro. Get out of my face, bro. What is it to talk about, man? This man, he's a winner. He's a winning head coach. Do we have some bumps this year? Yeah, but every team, every organization, everybody goes through it. But we don't look at firing a man who, obviously has won 10-plus games 2 years in a row, that's took this organization to 3 playoff appearances 3 years in a row. That's a respect. Coach he's a good leader for this team. He does a really good job. Did we come up short? Yeah. Did things happen this year? Yeah. But you don't look at, or I don't discuss about, firing a man or, this man got a family. I don't discuss about anything.
I think Nick's a great coach. I really do. I think he's a great head coach. Obviously, nobody was good enough this year. I wasn't. None of the players, none of the coaches are good enough down the stretch. That's the reality of this business. When you're that bad, it's a collective thing. And but I'll always have faith in Nick Sirianni. I think he does a lot of things structurally and organizationally that I think are really well done. Obviously, we got a lot of things to fix to improve the outcomes and the offense in general. From my perspective for next year, but I think very, very highly next year.
All right, so you see what they say. To me, it's like you had no clue, you had no idea this guy's job could be possibly on the line. How could that be? I don't understand it, because the team literally quit. They quit. This isn't a thing where we just didn't. See, when I hear the players, and I love all the players, I love Cox, and I love pause on that, okay? I love Fletcher, okay? Pause on the love Cox. Pause. I know you're going to get me a pause. All right? But here's the thing. Like, you just didn't play bad or, do this or that, or you quit. You gave up. It was done, completely done. Now, are they saying, or what they saying is, hey, it's not the coach's fault. We didn't quit on the coach. I wonder. I really wonder. It's got to be either the coordinators or the coach, okay? Now we're getting reports that Nick Sirianni, along with Howie Roseman, are actually looking for new coordinator jobs. Here's what Diana Rossini wrote. And it's kind of caused a stir yesterday evening, right? Both Eagles GM Howie Roseman and head coach Nick Sirianni have been reaching out to available NFL coaches and coordinators, as well as coaching agents across the league to evaluate potential coordinator candidates to join their coaching staff as they plan for the 2024 season. Based upon hearing that report, it sounds like Nick Sirianni is coming back. Listen, I'm just going to keep it real. I don't understand why. I think this could be a huge mistake. I think this could be a situation where if the players quit on him the way they quit on him this year, how long will it take for them to quit on him next year? How long? That's the question. If things go bad or if the offense struggles early, are they going to quit on him again? Can he get the locker room back? These are all the questions I have. I don't know that he can. So, to me, I personally would move on from Nick Sirianni. Not because the way the season ended, not because they got tossed early, but because of the lack of effort by the team for the 5 weeks. They basically quit. They quit. And when I say quit, I don't necessarily mean they refused to play or they didn't try. Well, I mean quit as like you could tell subconsciously on a subconscious level, this team was not buying what the coaches were doing. Okay? Now, if you are going to keep Nick Sirianni, if this is decided, hey, we're keeping Nick Sirianni, well, two things I got to say that. One, it really depends on what Jalen Hurts thinks, okay? And then number two, it depends on what coaches you get, okay? I waited all day because the Eagles were supposed to speak at 2:30 Eastern to the media, and Jalen Hurts was not there. Jalen Hurts wasn't there for like 5 hours, okay? So that was one of the other reasons why I wasn't able to put a video out, because it was so late by the time he talked, and I'm at work. It just couldn't be done. But here's what Jalen Hurts basically said about Nick Sirianni and the team and coming back.
Owners own, coaches coach, and players play. I just want to play at a high level. I have a ton of confidence in Coach. I have a ton of confidence in Howie. I have a ton of confidence in Mr. Lurie. I have to do my job. I have to do my job and control the things that I can. I answered that question the other day, and I don't know if you asked me something the other day about, and I said, what did I say?
So you
didn't know?
You didn't know?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing. So I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. You know, we plan on fixing everything that we've done and growing together. Coach Sirianni, Brian, everyone.
When you hear Jalen Hurts say that, it sounds like he wants Nick Sirianni's back. He wants him back. He's okay with it. Now, here's my thing. If I really have questions about Nick Sirianni and whether he could be the head coach going forward. I really do. I don't know that I believe it. But you know what? At the end of the day, if the players legitimately want him back, okay, and I'm not sure they do still, okay, because there's one thing to say, hey, look, this guy's a nice guy. You know, you have people at work. Hey, that's a nice guy, good guy, great person, great family. But, man, he doesn't do his job well. You know what I mean? I'm always having to pick up for him, or I don't believe in what he's doing. Those are two different things. So I could see players not wanting to say something that would get a coach fired. You don't ever want somebody to lose their job or anything like that. I even hate talking about a guy losing his job. But I just don't know if Nick Sirianni can win the locker room back if he lost it. Now, if there's something else, and it's not Nick Sirianni, okay, if it's not Nick Sirianni, then what is it? Your offensive scheme? Well, isn't that Nick Sirianni? Isn't it his offense? Is it the front office still bothered? Like, what is going on if it's not Nick Sirianni? If it's not the coach, then what is it? The offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator? I guess. If you're going to keep Nick Sirianni, all right, you have to go out and get the best offensive and defensive coordinator you can. You just have to. I think Frank Reich makes the most sense. And I'm not saying he's the only offensive coordinator you can get, but he would make the most sense. And you have to be willing to give complete control to your offensive coordinator. Nick Sirianni cannot call plays anymore. Let him be the coach, CEO. You know what I'm saying? He can overlook what's going on, but it can't be his system. Can't be his game plan. It can't happen. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We saw it this year. It was horrendous. So we're going to need really, really good coaches. And listen, the defensive side of the ball, I actually blame Nick Sirianni less for. I believe that the whole Sean Desai firing, I don't believe that was Nick Sirianni. I believe that came from Howie Roseman. That just seemed like the total Eagles thing that the front office would do. So I think when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, I kind of blame Howie and the philosophy the Eagles want to have on defense. This bend, don't break, Vic Fangio style does not work for us. It is not our style. It is not our DNA. It is not what the Eagles are about. We've got to get back to basics. We've got to get back to the Jim Johnson tree of defense, or you want to go Buddy Ryan, Bud Carson, Jim Johnson. I don't care. Somebody in that mold, built in that mold, that will play aggressive, that will be aggressive, that will be coming for your ass. Not just reacting to what you do or just focusing on not letting anything get behind them, but like some type of coordinator whose players will dictate to the offense. That's what I want. I want to go back to our roots. I do. So I think from the defensive side of the ball, I kind of blame Howie and the whole analytics and all that stuff and the type of defense they want to play. We've got to get out of that. We got to get out of that. So far as the offense goes, I think you need a better coordinator. Now, I know Jalen Hurts has taken a lot of heat about, his play. And let me tell you, he wasn't as good as he was a year ago. He has regressed. But don't forget this, okay? I don't want you to forget this. After that Buffalo game, Jalen Hurts was the odd favorite to win the MVP. Okay, now he turned over the ball too much and things like that. But, at points and times in the season, people were saying he just keeps coming. He doesn't give up. He's relentless. All those good things. And now we've gone to some people who say, well, he's not the answer. He's not the franchise quarterback. The truth is he did regress this year, and he's got to be better. And how he adjusts and how he comes in next year will tell us all we need to know about Jalen Hurts. Okay, I think guys like Hurts, I think guys like Jordan Davis, they need to go out there and show us that they can have a good year next year. Jordan Davis, to me, is a make-or-break year. The guy has tremendous upside, tremendous talent. For half the season, he was fantastic. For me, Jalen Hurts, half of the season, I thought he was a difference maker. He brought us back in games we had no business winning. You can't tell me that in that Dallas game, the first game where he could barely walk off the field, he had to drag himself off the field. You can't tell me that Jalen Hurts did not carry that team and put that team on his back in that third quarter of that Dallas game to go up, take the lead, and eventually win it. Jalen Hurts had some really good moments, but down the stretch, they were bad. And he's got to be better next year too. The question is can this coaching staff, can Nick Sirianni get the best out of him? I don't believe he can. So it looks like Nick Sirianni is going to stay. I personally think this could be a mistake. And my biggest fear is that we get into week 3, week 4 next year, and it's apparent nothing has changed, even with new coordinators, that Nick Sirianni winds up not making it through the year. That is what I think could possibly happen. But we'll see. So we'll see if there's any more news today. I will be back later. If there's an update about Nick or anything like that, we will come back later. But with that said, I better get my butt to work. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Now, here's what I got to ask you today, right? Would you rather watch your team lose for 5 weeks and know you're basically going out round 1 and know it by the way they're playing? Or would you rather have all 5 weeks of pain built in, wrapped into one, and then put into one game like the Dallas Cowboys? They thought they were going to the Super Bowl. They were looking for Super Bowl tickets. They thought the NFC Championship game was a shoo-in. Yet the 7th seed came in, put 48 points on them. Could have been 60 points if they kept their starters in the third quarter and beyond. Matter of fact, they pulled their starters too early. What's worse, to lose the way the Cowboys did or lose the way the Eagles did? We were death by a million paper cuts. They got blown the hell up. Denzel Washington out.